Hi, I'm Phyllis and my website is southernfrugal.com. I wanted to do this little video about the gelatin versus the Jello. I made myself some notes because I don't want to forget anything. So I woke up, it's been several days ago now, in the morning and my knee was hurting and I was like, wait, what's going on here? So I tried to kind of think what we had been doing. And of course, what I've been doing really for more than 3 weeks now is making my own Jello using the gelatin. This box right here. Now, the spelling here is the English spelling of it, but here in America, we leave the E off of it, so there's no confusion. So I have been using this and trying to use up this box of stuff, and then I was thinking about using another brand. But when I woke up with my knee hurting, everything changed. So I went from, I guess sometime in July, when I first started doing the Jello, I went, during that period, I think about in October, I decided to not do the Jello for about a week and see what happened. And sure enough, my knee started hurting again. But this time it really started hurting. So I think that the conclusion I have reached is it needs to be Jello, real Jello. Now, we use the kind with sugar in it, and I don't have any information on the kind that has the artificial sweeteners in it. I've never even tried that because I don't really like any of the artificial sweeteners, but of course if you're diabetic you would have to use that kind. So during the period when I was using the gelatin, I was using different juices like apple. I made tomato aspic, I used grape juice, and I used frozen strawberries, frozen blueberries, all kinds of stuff, frozen grapes even, and made it, and everything was fine, and we were, eating it just like before. And I never dreamed my knee, I just thought they were the same thing. I thought this and this were both gelatin. This one just didn't have any flavor or sugar in it. Apparently, that's not the way it is. So when you make the gelatin, they recommend that you put it in boiling water, not boiling water, cold water, and let it sit for a couple of minutes until it gels a little bit, and then use boiling water to dissolve it. With the Jello, you start right out with the boiling water to dissolve it. That's a difference. Now, I think that the gelatin that's in Jello is a finer grain, so to speak, than what's in this one. Just from observing it, that's what I think, but I'm not sure. And the other thing is mixing the Jello with the cream cheese, which I did a lot, and also mixing it with canned pineapple, canned peaches, canned fruit cocktail, and I don't have a can of mandarin oranges because we've used them all. But I noticed on these cans, a lot of them have some vitamin C. Not a whole lot, certainly not as much as fresh would, but I noticed the pineapple has got 20% of your daily need of vitamin C. The peaches have, let me see, the peaches have 6% if you don't drain the juice off of them. And then the fruit cocktail has only 2%. Only 2%. So I was thinking fresh fruit would be better, and I know you can't use fresh pineapple because the Jello won't gel if you do that because of the enzymes in the pineapple. But you can use canned pineapple. So anyway, the conclusion that I have reached just based on my own experience with this, and of course everybody's different, so what works for me might not work for you, but we're going back to regular Jello, mixing it with some kind of probably canned fruit, and using the cream cheese because that worked for what, I'd say August, September, October, and then I quit using it for a week to see if that really was what was helping me, and it turned out it was. But then I thought, well, why don't we switch to this and be even healthier and use, some fresh fruits and all that. And all of that worked and it was all good, but my knee started hurting again. So, the only conclusion that I can reach is this is what works. So, I guess the old saying, don't try to fix what's not broke. Yeah, I think that's the conclusion I have reached. The other thing that I did, which I thought was helpful, was I get chicken for the dogs about every 2 weeks. I get like 10 chicken legs in a pack. Sometimes I get chicken thighs, but mostly I get chicken legs. And I cook them in the Instant Pot with 2 cups of water, and I cook them actually for 40 minutes. So what you end up with is gelatin in the water once it's cooled. Of course, I take all the chicken out, and so I was using that to make chicken and dumplings. So I thought, well, that's just another way to get the gelatin. Well, apparently that didn't work either. So anyway, we are back to the Jello. I am sorry to have to say that, but after trying everything, and then for my knee to start hurting again, I really couldn't believe it. So all it took for my knee to stop hurting again was 3 days of Jello. And when I say Jello, I'm talking about eating no more than really about half a cup 3 times. And my knee's not hurting anymore. So we are definitely back on the Jello. So I wanted to show you what I had used over the years, because my knee had hurt me from Graybo, our dog back then, ran into my knee, and Mr. Bucky said it was like a football injury where somebody runs into your knee and you've got the weight on that knee, and it really was bad. So this one, let me get it apart. This one, your knee goes in there, and these 2 straps, there's one on the bottom, wrap around the back part of your leg. And this worked pretty good for me for maybe about 2 hours, and then these would start hurting the back of my leg. So I didn't use this very much, but I used it some. And then the other thing I tried was this thing that you slip over your knee, and can y'all see this part in here is less stretchy. It's a different weave in there, and that's where your knee went. So this part would go on the top of your leg or your thigh, and this part goes on the bottom part of your leg, below your knee, and this worked pretty good. Again, it would work for a while, but it would finally cut the circulation off in your leg. So I didn't use this very much. So what I ended up using, and the reason it's so tattered and all, is this wrap like that. It's pretty long, and it's got a Velcro on the inside of it. And what you do is wrap this around your knee, making X's, leaving your kneecap out, and that's what worked for me. And I would always go to this one. And so what I would do is wrap it. If I had on slacks, I would wrap it on top of my slacks. But and if I was going somewhere, I put it underneath my slacks. But this is what worked for me, and it's just a medical wrap of some kind, and it's got Velcro on the other end of it. You just keep wrapping it around, making X's across the front part of your leg or your knee, and so your knee's kind of out, and it really braces it. So anyway, I've used this for years and years, really. And this one, not so much. And this one, not so much. In fact, I was in Walmart the other day, and there was a man looking to buy a brace, and he had this kind up, and he said, well, he asked me if I thought that would work. I guess I look like I might know, maybe. And I told him what it did to the back of my legs. A couple of hours it works, but after that, it starts hurting where these straps are going around, because you have to have it tight in order for it to brace your knee. So anyway, once my knee was hurting a few days ago, I got my old wrap out and wrapped my knee up again, and the first thing I did is fix more Jello. In fact, we fixed peach Jello with the cream cheese in it. So I don't know why it works and why the other didn't work as well. I mean, I went for 3 weeks on this one. And, I just woke up in the morning and my knee was hurting. And it's happened so much in my life, I know exactly what's going on when I wake up and my knee's hurting. So whether I turn wrong in the bed or something, I don't know. But anyway, so we're going to go right back to the Jello. And I'm not going to use the fruit juice, and I'm not going to use this anymore. It's just going to be strictly Jello. Sometimes, I don't know, I think I was just maybe looking for a way maybe we could be healthier, and was actually thinking about trying the other brands of the gelatin that are, they have organic beef or something that they use, but now I'm just sticking with Jello, y'all. I mean, y'all let me know what your experience has been, because mine with the Jello was fantastic. I couldn't even believe it, how well it worked. And the first thing I noticed is, of course, my fingernails. I just have a ring fingernail that would break a lot. The other fingernails never broke. But I also noticed new hair growth. I mean, I could almost pull this down and have bangs now. I could. And so I noticed that. And of course, then after all that, I noticed my knee wasn't hurting anymore. And that might have been around the 1st of August. I can't remember now. But we have definitely been doing Jello. And of course, our favorite still is the peach and the orange. The peach is fantastic. It really is. So anyway, I wanted to let y'all know that I had tried different things. Now, I do know that the grain of the gelatin is different than the grain in the Jello. I don't know if it's more processed, they grind it up more. I'm not sure how they do it, but something is different. And I know from the studies that they did on that, I think it was a football team or something, that they always had the vitamin C in the Jello too. So I don't know if it's got it in there naturally or not. I suspect it doesn't, so you'd have to add something, some kind of fruit with the Jello to make it work, and it worked for them and it worked for me. I don't know why I was trying to reinvent the wheel, but I was. And so now we're back to plain Jello with cream cheese and some kind of fruit. Just that simple. So, and it's really good too, so I'm not really too worried about the sugar in it. We don't really have a problem with the sugar. And I don't know if the kind that is sweetened with the artificial sweeteners, I don't know why that wouldn't work as well, but I just don't like the artificial sweeteners, period. So, but for those of you who have to use the artificial sweetener, y'all let me know if it's helped any of y'all, because it definitely has helped me. I just wanted to I really wanted to try and use the juices to be healthier, is what I thought, but that didn't work. So anyway, I wanted to share that with y'all, and y'all let me know if any of this has worked on your knees or joints or anything, and let me know how it's been for y'all, because I only have myself, to go by. And Mr. Bucky really doesn't have any problem like I have with that one knee, so, and it's my right knee, okay? Anyway, my knee's fine now, back on the Jello for 3 days, and boom, my knee quit hurting. So anyway, I hope that's helpful to y'all. Y'all let me know if it's helped you. So we'll see you next time. Bye for now.